Hello, class. Today I will be speaking about my reaction after reading The Body Ritual Among the Nasarima by Miner. I would first like to give a little debrief summary of what this article was overall all about. So, the Native Americans known as the Nasarima had a magical belief that was centered on the idea that it was needed to do rituals in order to keep the body healthy and strong. Every residence was known to have a shrine and a lengthy ritual in order to keep the body healthy and strong. They were also known to have a box charm that was filled with magical charms and potions that had been purchased from healers and other experts in their fields. It was known that the medicine men could cut bodily parts during a ceremony in order to restore health and drive all evil away if it was needed to do so. After reading this article, I was very intrigued with how the anthropologists described American culture. I was interested in how they described bathrooms as shrines, doctors as medicine men, dentists as holy mouth men, secret languages as prescription, and medicine as a charm box. This gave me the understanding of how different cultures could do the same thing, but in the way they do it, it's different practices, but just, in different fonts of it. For instance, the way it talked about how people brush their teeth. In the article, I mentioned, and I quote, several times each day, the natives rub the inside of their mouth with a small bundle of hog bristles. Those who neglected the ritual are forced to visit the holy mouthmen, who, as a punishment, digs holes in their teeth with sharp instruments. Now, you see, when I first read that, it kind of scared me because the way it was phrased, it made it sound like the holy mouthmen are some type of dangerous people who just hurt their patients, right? However, when understanding it deeper, all that was said was that the natives brushed their teeth several times each day, and those who didn't had to go to the dentist to get their teeth cleaned out. So, this is an example of what I mean when I say that cultures have their own meaning of how they do things. There are many things in the American culture that are practiced, but to other cultures, it could be seen as something weird or interesting. As we study cultures, it is very important to remember that all cultures are constantly evolving. When we say culture, we don't just mean people from different countries. Every group of people has its own unique culture. That is its own way of thinking, values, beliefs, and mindsets. Furthermore, I feel like a very common practice pattern in American culture is the use of our phones and the overall use of social media. Our phones have become something very common in our lives. Now, you may be questioning and saying, well, of course, we all use our phones, so what makes it so American culture like, right? It is so common to see many Americans frequently posting online, and many whom have social media as their professional jobs. For example, let me speak about a very common and famous app, TikTok. TikTok has many creators who are American and use social media as their source of income to become popular. Now, from an outside perspective, many people may see that having social media as a professional job to be weird or odd, right? However, in American culture, it is something very common to see from other people. This comes mostly from teens. Outside people may see a social media job as something immature and not very smart to do. But surprisingly speaking, from my point of view, I've seen people who started down low, but years after, they are now someone very famous due to the fact that they had that job. And it's interesting to know how strong social media brings to the people. Social media has become a comfort spot for many people. Speaking worldwide, cell phones and social media have definitely taken over our lives and made a huge impact on us. It is what makes us become connected with other cultures and help us see perspectives from an outside point of view. Um, Moreover, when speaking about social media and how it's definitely changed tremendously over time. The number and types of platforms has grown significantly over the past 5 years. There are more options for posting and advertising than ever before. Demographics have begun to cluster to different platforms as well, with the younger audience performing platforms like Snapchat and new incomers as well too. The percentage of US adults who use social media increased from 5% in 2015 to 79% in 2019, and that percent will continue to grow as the years pass by. Furthermore, it wasn't until the late 1900s that it really became popular. However, it took even longer until around 2005 for it to become the social media and culture institution that is known nowadays. Now, when it comes to questioning whether social media can be seen as something more beneficial or detrimental, it can be something very hard to answer. I feel like many people have their own perspectives on how they see social media. For many of us, social media can be seen as something very beneficial and good. However, for many other people, social media can also be seen as something not good, and it could be more detrimental thing. I feel like it all just depends on where you stand in a social media perspective. For example, a person who may use social media as a job to post daily contents for their fandom can answer this question and say that it is something good. However, a different person who is often bullied on social media may say that the use of it is seen as something negative, right? However, in the article named Social Media Use and Its Impact by Brooke Oxer, studies show that depending on your age is how you view social media. In a certain part of the article, the author says younger adults are more likely to say social media has had a positive impact on the way things are going in the country and are less likely to believe social media sites have a negative impact compared with older Americans. For instance, 15% of those ages 18 to 29 say social media has had a mostly positive effect on the way things are going in the country today, while just 8% over the age of 30 say the same thing. This study comes to show that our age plays a big role of how we see that platform from a society perspective. In my point of view, I feel like social media is more seen as a beneficial view because it helps us worldwide understand societal issues that are happening in the world. Sometimes problems in countries are not being talked about and it cannot be reached worldwide. However, through social media, it could become a trend to talk about important topics like this about the world, right? In the article, it also mentions over the last 2 decades, social media has developed into the main source of information for a huge percentage of the world's population, influence their opinions, choice, and beliefs on every topic imaginable. This impact has had a negative but also many positive aspects. Now you see, if we keep on using it as a source to share countries' problems, then I truly believe that we could all find social media as a source of a good income. And it can be good. It can be used in a good way. This is the end of my video. I have come to the end. The overall aspect of culture is something beautiful and interesting to look into. Our different practices and beliefs are what makes all cultures uniquely good. As long as we respect each other's thoughts and perspective, I believe it's important for us to talk and to get to know other people from other cultures. Now, I hope you enjoyed my video and learned a couple new things based on what I said. Thank you so much and bye.